The first thing that you want to do is download Echo360, and the instructions for that are on the very first page of the how-to booklet. So when you first log on to Echo360, the only thing other than these two screens that you can see is a little red button. You press that and it starts to record. Then it counts down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the recording starts. So just wait for it to get to the end. Then these three buttons appear. The cross simply stops and deletes the video that you're working on. That's just like throwing it away. So don't press the cross unless you're irritated with what you've done and you just want to get rid of it. The pause button, obviously you can stop and start as you record, and then the full square is a stop button, and you just click on that at the end of making the video and it automatically downloads it and converts it. The recording of a video is very simple because what you can see in front of you is the FaceTime camera, which is showing a very glitchy, delayed, lagging version to me, but on the final recording will look fine. And the other thing I can see is display 1, which is simply a screen capture of whatever is happening on your screen at that moment. And that is why you can see this infinite regress, this hall of mirrors effect, because at the moment my screen is this screen, so you're just seeing my screen reflecting my screen, reflecting back to infinity. Ad infinitum. So in fact, you wouldn't really want to start your lectures there. You'd hit record and then you'd instantly, as I'm about to do, you'd scroll across into whatever you wanted to be in. Yeah, so whatever else you've got on your computer open, you can just scroll through into them. So that is a PDF, that is a JPEG, and I just full screened it. That is Ezra's PowerPoint that I could enlarge and make go full screen. That is a Word document that I can just press on focus and make it look nicer. Yeah, so I could just have my handout and lecture along with that. That's my internet, so yeah, I could do anything online and show the students while I'm recording. It is just picking up absolutely whatever is on my screen. And that very simply is how to do the recording bit. So I'm just going to press the white square and that will vanish, and that will save it for me. So you've just made your Echo360 video, and that bit was very simple. And it is recorded, and it is automatically saved your video into your Echo360 file library. Now the complicated bit is getting it onto Moodle, I think. So I'm going to start off just on the Shakespeare Moodle page. I'm imagining that I just want to add this to the Shakespeare Moodle page. So I'm just going to pop it in the first box. Obviously, normally in real life, I would add it to the correct box where we're keeping all of our lectures. So add an activity and resource like normal. So I'm just adding it like you'd add a handout, a lecture handout, or anything that you'd add to Moodle. Yeah, I'm choosing LectureCast, add I'm going to give it a name, Eric's test lecture. Click save and return to course. So as ever, all that's done is it created the space for the lecture. So now there's nothing in there yet, obviously, so I'm going to click on that, and that's going to take me through. First of all, it takes you to this mysterious page. And I have to confess, I've never been able to understand any of the words on this page at all. I'm just going to click on link content. That takes us into this kind of storeroom for the Shakespeare. And I'm going to add new class. I'm going to call this, let's say this is Macbeth lecture, EFL. Okay. So then it's created that there. So let's click on the add content, add video, import from your library, and then choose. You can see how many I've done and failed on. It has taken me a long time to get my head around this one, I have to say. Where's the latest one? What time is it? 6:16, is it that one? It doesn't matter, does it? Obviously I should have called it Macbeth. Add that in. Let's just, yeah, so now you can see it's got a little green button with a play symbol there, so I'm hoping that means the lecture has appeared there. I'm going to click it. And then go to view. It's got these two screens, and the computer screen will appear in one and the FaceTime video will appear in the other, and the students can maximize and minimize these screens as it plays to focus on your face or to focus on your lecture slides. So actually, look, this does look really good. Yeah, so it plays, it does look good. So when you first log on to Echo360, the only thing other than these two screens that you can see is so I'm just muting that. I imagine on the playback feature, this isn't looking good. Zoom will have made it glitchy again, because it always does that when you're screen grabbing another recording, it makes it look glitchy. But what I'm seeing here is actually fine on this small screen. I'm just going to drag the video along, because I think I'd probably clip the video down slightly before I posted it, so that you didn't start off in this confusing hall of mirrors, that you in fact just started on your first lecture slide, because it just looks so much better. So let's say like this. Yeah, and suddenly look how much better that looks. You went from thinking that this was rubbish to actually realizing that it is the best quality of all of the different things we've got. It just took me a long time. Sorry, I keep moaning, and you can see what it actually looks like. Yeah, you see that? Okay, the next section I'll do then is just showing you how to edit them. It's not a very good edit function, but you can at least trim it from either end, so that you don't have to start off in that irritating hall of mirrors. Okay, let's see if that's right. Okay, so I'm just going to very quickly show you how to edit your Echo360 videos. All you can do on Echo360 is cut. You can't add any fancy stuff to it. You can very easily trim from either end if you've started or finished your lecture messily. So to edit media, you click on the edit media button down here, accept that, and this takes you to the editing suite. Now, I'm very moany about the editing suite, I'm afraid, because it's nowhere near as good as the one in iMovie, which if you've watched the iMovie video, you'll see that it's very intuitive, the iMovie editing. Whereas this is frustrating because the playback screen that you see here in the middle, yeah, the one with the little that is now playing, if you watch what we call the timeline, the video timeline, which is this one along the bottom, they're not synced up, are they? Look, on this one, it's me talking here. Yeah, and I'm talking now, and it's 0, 23, 0, 24, 25, 26. That one is just playing. And you can see that the time is the same down here next to the little moving scissors, 0, 34, 35, yeah, 35, 36. So they're synced with the time. But look, that seems to imply to me, if you look at the image that the line is moving over, that still looks like the quad, whereas it's the face here. So you have to ignore, it's very irritating. On iMovie, those two things are perfectly synced. On this, they're not at all synced. So you have to identify the bit that you want to cut by watching this central video screen. So let's say I've watched this a few times and I know that I mess up at 120 to 125. Right, so at 120, I mess up. So I've paused it and the line is at 120 and I'm going to press the little scissors, snip.
Yeah, then I'm going to play it again. So it goes up 123, 124, 125, snip. Actually, tell you what, I'm going to make it up to 135 that I want to cut so that we can visualize, so we can see it better.
Sorry about that. So I'm going to go up to 135 and that's where I'm going to put my other snip. On we go, 135, hit pause. Yeah, so that, then I move back to the pair of scissors, I click the scissors again, and you can see, I should have left it for longer really, but you can see the two pink lines here. Those are the bookends of the 10 seconds that I wanted to cut. So I click in between those, and then I just go to this dustbin here that's in the middle of the screen, and I hit the dustbin, and it cuts those 10 seconds out. So now the video will simply run through that section. Let's just humor me. Pretend that this bit that I'm currently looking at here between the two pink lines, pretend that's the whole video. I just want to point out how easy it is to take that first line, yeah, and just drag it. And you can drag it from the end as well. If you look down at the bottom again, I can cut it from the end like that. So that's just trimming, topping and tailing your video. And that's all you can do in terms of editing. So I shall leave that there. Okay, so that was how to use Echo360. I'm sorry I made such a big fuss about it.